Welcome to Rawson Reports Live. Happy to be here. Hope you had a great holiday weekend. I spent it poolside. I love my A&W root beer zeros, which everyone makes fun of me for. So I hope you had a really good time with family. We have a lot to get to today. There's a lot going on, from a big delivery war between Dollar General and Dollar Tree, and you're going to be able to cash in. We have a promo code for you so you can actually get some money off your orders. But those delivery wars are really heating up, and we have that. Post-Labor Day sales. You think all the sales are over? They're not. They're not. They try to trick you a little bit and say, you got to buy everything by Labor Day. Not true. Not true at all. So we have that for you, and some very specific sales going on and some great deals, including at Costco, Home Depot, Lowe's. There's a massive Gmail hack to tell you about. Google got hacked, and now the hackers are threatening Google, what it means for you and what you need to do to your Google and Gmail passwords right now. Transunion has had a major data breach. That's like the credit agency that we all rely on for our money. They're the ones we say, hey, freeze your credit. They'll take care of you. They had a breach. So what in the world are you supposed to do? We're going to tell you about that. You know that Verizon big national outage they had? The big outage where, my phone was completely off. I got the SOS message. I have a way to get you a refund. Yeah, I did something and it worked. And I called the people at Verizon and I said, will this work for other people? They said, yes, I'm going to get you some money back for that inconvenience. Plus, we have somebody here joining us today who's unbelievable. His name is Jim Stickley. He is one of the world's best hackers. He has hacked more than 1,000 banks and big institutions to try to test their security. He's a good guy. He's a good hacker. He could use it for bad, but he uses it for good. He's a penetration tester. He's a hired gun. The banks that we all use hire him, and they say, hey, hack us, because we want to know what our vulnerabilities are. So whenever you get like the software patches and all that, it's Jim Stickley getting in there and showing them, oh, I broke in right here. So he's joining us today to talk about those hacks I just mentioned, and also the ways to protect yourself right now, because there's no better person to tell you how to prevent yourself from getting hacked from a guy who has done it. So he's going to join us and give us all of that. Plus, there is some confusion with the IRS right now about stimulus checks going out. I'm going to get to the bottom of that too. And also a streaming service is cracking down on passwords. So there's a lot to get to. Right now, I want you to hit like on this video. It really does help the algorithm push it out. Subscribe to our channel so you're notified about all of our new content and when we go live. And it really helps us out. I'm an independent consumer journalist. This is how we pay the bills. So I really appreciate your support. We really rely on you. But let's get right into it. I want to get right in with this, the Dollar Tree and Dollar General delivery wars, because this is now becoming the next frontier for dollar stores. They know you're going in. Now they need to figure out ways, because especially Dollar General in rural areas, they want ways to bring the groceries to you so you don't have to go to them. And that's going to mean good news for you. And I want to start with Dollar Tree, because Dollar Tree just teamed up with UberEats. Huge partnership, 9,000 stores across the country. And it's really all the essentials, just about everything there. And they're doing this, again, to appeal to more suburban and rural shoppers, people who they have found, hey, they don't come in as much as they want to because they're busy. Maybe the nearest Dollar Tree is 25 minutes away, and they're like, forget it. I'll just go to the grocery store, or I'll go to Target or Walmart. So they've gotten with UberEats for this deal. There is a catch, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. But if you want to take advantage of this, they're doing a really cool promo code right now. Promo code is on your screen right now. There it is, $10. Spell out dollar, DOLLAR 10. If you're ordering from Dollar Tree, your first order, and I believe it's $10 off any order of $30 or more. So if you have an order of $30 or more, boom, $10 off with that promo code to celebrate the launch. So we'll keep that on screen for an extra second. And by the way, you still get 0 delivery fees. If you're Uber One, you get 0 delivery fees, just like always, and all that. But there is a caution here about UberEats, okay? And I did this story when I worked in mainstream television for Hearst. Believe it or not, and a lot of people don't know this, the food you buy on UberEats costs more. And you're like, well, I know that, the delivery fees and the service fees and charge. No, I'm talking about the food itself costs more. Like, I tested this out, and I actually fell into this by accident because we always order from the same pizza place here where I live. My son loves the pizza, and we always order on Uber Eats because we get lazy with all the running around and the kids. I get lazy, so I'm like, I'll Uber Eats the pizza, and it's always like $27, which is like crazy for pizza, but welcome to 2025. But then one day we were driving back from his flag football practice, and he's like, "Oh, let's pop in for the pizza. We'll get it here." I said, "Yeah, great. I love the smell of the pizza place. Best." So we went in, and the pizza was like $24 or $23. And I'm like, wait, what? And they're like, oh, yeah, Uber Eats. I asked the manager or the owner, I said, why is it more? He said, oh, yeah, Uber Eats charges us between 15 and 30% to be on the platform. So we actually just pass that on to you. I'm like, whoa, what? So the food itself is more expensive? He's like, yeah, but across the board. Where's that money coming from? We're paying Uber Eats, so they feature us, so they allow us on the platform. Somebody's got to pay Uber Eats' bills. It's the restaurants. And what do the restaurants do? They turn around and charge us. Hey, they're paying Uber 20% more. They charge you 20% more for the food, ordering online versus going into the restaurant. So I actually went and I tried this out at a local mom and pop Greek place, and then check out Chick-fil-A. What happened to Chick-fil-A? Mike, can you roll that tape?
How are you? Can I grab a chicken souvlaki platter?
Sure.
How much is that?
$14.99.
$14.99. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now, I'm on Uber Eats, same exact restaurant, as I promised you, same exact chicken souvlaki platter, and look what it is on Uber Eats. $17.99 for the exact same thing. That's not including the delivery fees and all the tip and all that. These are the same guys. They're going to make it here and in person. I saved $3 by coming in the store. It's 20% more. 20% more around on the app. I'll take the Chick-fil-A sandwich meal.
Gotcha.
$9.45 here. This is the mother load as I pay him. Here you go. Jeff? All right. $9.45 ordering in the drive-thru. I am on Uber Eats in the same exact restaurant. It's $12.29. Same thing. That is a 30% difference in price. You're paying 30% more on the apps just for the food itself.
How cool is that? That I told you about it. Not cool that they actually do it. But I mean, it does make sense. You can't really blame the restaurants, right? I mean, they're just trying to make a buck. So anyway, that's what Dollar Tree is doing. So be careful. It's a convenience fee, right? And sometimes you're like, look, I want to pay the convenience fee. Nothing wrong with that. I just want to let you know that's going on. And that brings us to Dollar General because, like I said, these are delivery wars. So Dollar Tree announces this big thing with Uber Eats, but Dollar General is now in on the action too. Dollar General has, they have a relationship with DoorDash and Uber Eats, but now they're pushing, they just announced, for 1 hour delivery at 16,000 stores. So the Dollar Tree deal with Uber Eats is 9,000, Dollar General, 16,000 stores. They want to compete, they said, with Amazon and Walmart. They want to get your stuff within 1 hour. So this big 1 hour delivery thing, it ends up being huge. And it turns out, and I'm reading this, the CEO said that 75% of delivery orders arrive within 1 hour. And they're working on expanding that. They say many customers spending $20 or more per order, showing that they're not just using Dollar General for picking up, this and that and knickknacks. They're doing a bulk of their essential shopping and their grocery shopping at Dollar General. So that's why they're pushing for this 1 hour delivery more often. Again, same thing with Dollar General. They say they want to appeal to a different clientele. Now, what's interesting is Dollar General, if you've ever noticed and you've driven around the country, and I've done stories on this, they focus on the really small towns. Okay, they focus. If you look at a Dollar General, you'll drive through a town and it's like, what? There's like nothing, and then a Dollar General. That's their sweet spot, the rural areas. So that's why this is so important to them. They want to start, because just Dollar Tree is usually in cities and stuff in suburbia. They want to get into the rural areas. That's their reason for doing delivery. Dollar General is the opposite. They want more higher income suburban people, maybe even into the cities a little bit. So that's why they're doing delivery. So they both have different reasons for doing it, but both of them make sense. So Dollar General and Dollar Tree in this delivery war, kind of cool for us. It works. I want to talk now, and I really do hope you had a really nice holiday weekend. So many sales were going on for Labor Day, so many, and I did a bunch of stuff here on my channel Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You're missing out. FOMO. Would have told you about those deals. But now that we're after Labor Day, there are more deals going on. In fact, I would potentially argue that there are more deals after Labor Day than there are before Labor Day, because now they're like, okay, whatever they have left and whatever we didn't buy up from the Labor Day sale, they're like, well, crap. We have all of this we have all this stuff, all this product from the summer. We need to get rid of it. So a lot of places are extending their Labor Day sales. And in the case of Costco, they're offering a really cool deal on Procter & Gamble products. So Mike, can we call up that asset of what's going on right now at Costco? And this is today. I know it's weird, this thing. Hi. What's up? Anyway, all right. So P&G, if you spend $100, and you can see what P&G products are, right? Bounty, Tide. I mean, they have all, what is that? Charmin. They have all the big products. If you go to Costco and spend $100 now, okay, through and it says it on the screen, right? Through September 21st, they'll give you a $25 Costco shop card. So, pretty good, 25%. If you spend $200, they'll give you $50, 25% in a Costco shop card. So right now at Costco, this great post-Labor Day situation, if you buy any of these Procter & Gamble products, Costco is going to give you free money, and it's going way on for weeks from now. So do that. The other two places that I noticed that are extending their Labor Day sales through tomorrow, Wednesday, are Home Depot, and I think we have a picture of that. So you can see their Labor Day sale, and it's just about everything, right? Appliances, tools, outdoor stuff, Halloween decorations. Get in and get your Halloween decorations now, literally before tomorrow. So you have today and tomorrow to go in and do all that. And then Lowe's, I believe we have that as well. Their Labor Day sale is extending through the 3rd as well. And you can see appliances. It's all the same stuff. Fall decor, tools, bathroom, paint, everything they got is on sale, and they're extending it. So that's pretty cool. Speaking of cool, there is money that Verizon owes you. Were you affected by this outage? Let me know in the chat, by the way. I'm actually going to call up some comments here. Were you affected by that Verizon outage? My whole family was. We're a Verizon family. I have 4 lines. And all of a sudden, all day on Sunday, it said SOS. And I'm like, what the hell? And my iPhone was trying to find a satellite. And it's like, turn to the right and you can get, which is really cool. It's a cool feature. But when you're driving around, there's nothing to really do. And you realize, I was saying to myself, I can't believe that we're screwed the second something like this happens, because I didn't know what to do with myself. My phone was gone. I didn't know what to do. So I decided yesterday to call Verizon. I called Verizon and I said, hey, I didn't have my phone for 24 hours. This is ridiculous. I want a refund. Gave me $50. Didn't argue, nothing. And I said to the woman, I'm like, I said, hey, because they called back afterwards to make sure I was happy. And I said, I'm never happy. But that's a person, I'm talking to my therapist about that. But in general, with Verizon, I was, because they handled it right. Yeah, Kim, you saw all day. It was crazy, that SOS thing. So call Verizon right now and try to get that refund, because they gave it right to me. Did I make the phone number? I don't know if I made a banner with the phone number, but let me just tell you what the phone number is. The phone number is 1-800. So get out a piece of paper and stuff. So I'll read this twice for you guys, and it'll also be in the replay. 1-800-922-0204. So once again, the Verizon number, this is the number I called to get my refund. 1-800-922-0204. But be careful, if you weren't in the hack, the outage, they know it. They were able to look up my IP and where my phone was, and they saw and confirmed I was part of the outage. So, there it is. Oh, good. Thanks for throwing that up, Mike. 1-800-922-0204. Call Verizon and get that refund. I got $50. It cost me 5 minutes on the phone. You didn't have your phone all day. You should get money back from Verizon. I got to talk about this massive Gmail hack here. And we have our expert hacker coming up live in just a moment, who's hacked over 1,000 banks. He knows all the hacker secrets because he is one. And I've known this guy for almost 20 years. He is brilliant. He's unbelievable. And he's one of the good guys. He's on our side. All these big companies hire him to break in and hack in to show vulnerabilities. That's how good he is. So this Gmail hack is nuts, okay? These hackers are able to get into Google databases, and now Google is saying, we all need to change our Gmail passwords like right now. Whatever passwords you have, change it right now. I can't stress that enough. And I think when I pop Jim up here, he'll agree. And they also found out, listen to this, listen to this number, 36% of users regularly update passwords. Only 36%. And Jim's going to tell us the danger of that. And by the way, I'm not going to lie, I'm guilty of that sometimes too. I probably shouldn't be saying that, but I am. You also want to turn on two-factor authentication on your Gmail right now, because again, these hackers are in there. Hackers are now threatening, this is the new thing, they're now threatening Google. They said, hey, if you don't fire these 2 employees, we're going to leak your databases. I don't fully know what that means. Maybe Jim does. We'll bring him in. But hey, Jim, what is it? Let's bring Jim Stickley in right now, actually, our expert hacker. Jim, good to see you, buddy.
Hey.
So what does that mean? These Gmail hackers are threatening to release Google's databases. What does that mean?
Well, it depends on who you believe right now. So the hackers are claiming one thing, that they've got all this data. And Google's saying, whoa, hold on. They've got some data, but the data they have isn't really that big of a deal. Because they're claiming, Google says, oh, no, it's business accounts and it's not passwords or things like that. It's just general information, name, address, business information. And so you go, well, if that's truly just the information, while it can be used for social engineering, and that's bad in itself, it's not like people are going to be suddenly compromised by it. The criminals, though, seem to be implying they've got a lot more. And so it really depends who you believe right now.
And it stands to reason they would have a lot more, right? I mean, you don't just go in and get addresses. If you were doing it, Jim, if you were hacking in, why would you just get addresses?
Well, again, according to both sides, the hack was done through Salesforce. And so it wasn't Google itself that was directly compromised. It was a third party. Employees, basically, or at least one employee or more, basically loaded software onto their machine, which was supposed to be part of Salesforce. It actually was indirectly, and it allowed this special type of authentication. It's called OAuth authentication. Doesn't really matter what it does. And it allows the criminal to basically simulate being that employee. So whatever access that employee had, that's what then the criminal had. And that's so scary, Jim. It wasn't, yeah. Well, it depends. Again, if the employee only had access to customer business data, okay, minimal, and depending on what that was. On the other hand, if that employee happened to be like, ooh, they have access to everything, that would be very, very bad.
So if you're if you have Gmail right now, did I give the right advice? I mean, it's change your password, two-factor authentication. What should you be doing right now as a Gmail user?
So there's a couple of, I mean, it never hurts to change your password just to be safe. Why wouldn't you? And that's what everybody's been kind of saying is err on the side of caution, change your password. Multi-factor, I mean, by now, or two-factor authentication, I mean, most people, it's just kind of forced. Everybody has that on. You'd hope to at least have it going on your phone. Nowadays, you can do these passwords. Basically, it's when you go on, it'll give you an option where you no longer have a password, so to speak. Your computer basically logs you in for you. That is considered more secure. There's some arguments for and against it right now. But ultimately, to me, the biggest risk is if criminals release this or whoever has access to this, it is excellent information from a social engineering standpoint. Because now, let's say that go ahead and I want to target people. So I get this big database. And now I know your business name. I know some information about you. I have contact info. And I know you've got this business account with Google. And depending on what other information is there, I can call you up, email you, or text you on behalf of Google using the information that I gathered from them to then make it seem more legitimate. So now if I call you up and I go, hey, I'm calling on behalf of Google. We've noticed some security concerns. Recently, we had a breach. We're calling our customers to warn them about this. You go, oh, okay. And then they drop a little bit of personal information about you that they got through this breach. So you start getting comfortable with them. And then they trick you into either installing software, clicking on links, doing other things. And now they compromise you further because you thought you were actually talking to somebody legitimate.
Wow. And there's also another breach. And by the way, there's a website we're going to talk about, that Have I Been Pwned website. There's a website that Jim had turned me on to that we're all going to do right now together. And we're going to see that website right there. But we're going to get into that. That will tell you if your stuff's on the dark web. And we're going to do it live together to see, because
I've done it, and my stuff is. And your stuff probably is too. And it actually will tell you where it's been leaked, so you know what passwords to change. Jim, there's also this Transunion hack. Transunion is one of those 3 credit reporting agencies, guys, we always talk about. Experian, what is it? Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. So TransUnion is one of the big 3 tent poles. 4.4 million Americans were possibly affected by this. They stole the hacker stole 13 million records from 4.4 million U.S. customers. Jim, how bad is this?
This one is way worse because this one includes social security numbers, date of birth, name, address. This is you. This is the mother load. When you get this kind of data, you're cooked. If they want to go out and commit identity theft, they have everything they need to do it. So this one is a much more dangerous breach by far.
So what should we do with the TransUnion? I mean, normally the advice is to go to TransUnion and like give them more information to freeze your account and stuff. Have they?
Yeah. No. Now they are offering 24 months of credit monitoring
for free.
Yeah, for free, which is great. But the problem is your social security number is with you for life, which means if you're a criminal, you got patience. So you just go, okay, so you're going to get free monitoring for 2 years. I'll just set that data over on my drive. 2 years from now, I realize that it'll end. I still got your social security number. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. They're just going to target you in 2 years. So it's a problem. I mean, to me, you're going to need to obviously freeze your credit, really monitor your credit.
Freeze your credit on not only TransUnion, but Experian.
All three. Yeah, and Equifax. And that's really important. Go to annualcreditreport.com. You can get free credit reports every year. Highly recommend you do that. So you're monitoring your own
annualfreecreditreport.com.
Yeah. And annual credit. Free and oh god, now it's
free
annualcreditreport.com. That's it. Annualcreditreport.com. Man, I've only been to it about 1,000 times. And yeah, that's great. And what I do to kind of like work the system, because each of them will give you one free a year. So I'll go to like Experian and get my free one at that site. Then I'll wait a few months. Then I'll do Equifax, and I'll wait a few more months, and then I'll do TransUnion. And by doing that, all of them have the same data. And so I'm basically getting to monitor my credit throughout the entire year for free by just checking those every few months. And it covers it up pretty well. If you see anything weird on it, immediately work on it. Like a lot of times I've talked to so many people who have had their identity stolen, and they go, oh yeah, I saw my credit report and there was something I didn't recognize, and then they went on with their life. And they're like, I didn't think it was anything. And then like 6 months later, suddenly they've got just everything's gone to chaos, and they've like got so many things that are ripping them off, because that was that one canary in the coal mine moment where that was the beginning of their identity just being taken over, and they just didn't pay attention. And by the time that they started really getting into it, it was a mess. And then they had to spend a lot more time and a lot more money to get it all cleaned up.
And I think you hit the point. You know these hackers you are when they're patient. They'll rip something off today and then hit you in a year when your guard's down again, right?
That's it. I mean, like for me, that's what it always comes down to is patience. I mean, to be a good hacker, you have to be patient anyway, because it's not like you have a lot of success right out of the gate, especially with social engineering. You know, they'll target 1,000 people with the hopes that one person falls victim. And so there's lots of time. And you think about, most of these hackers aren't in the United States. They're all over the world. So let's say that you're in a third world country where you've got a laptop or some janky computer, and you're sitting in an internet cafe, and that's your entire livelihood. And you can target just one victim in the United States and rip them off for several $1,000s. And that's more than you would have made in a year doing legitimate work there. So it's big business for these people in other countries where this is their revenue stream.
And you were always saying, because we hear about these data breaches all the time, and I think some of us, being honest, glaze over. Oh, another data breach at a company I've never heard of. Another data breach at this. But you've always told me this is how you get ripped off, because we don't change our passwords, and what they do is they get one password from one weird thing that you did once, and then what do, Jim? They run it through a computer, and
This is the problem. Is everybody's always told, change your password every few months, change your password. Well, the reason they're told that is because people realized long ago that everyone uses the same 1, 2, 3 passwords everywhere. So changing your password often isn't really the thing. They're telling you to do that because they realize that if one company's compromised and your password was there and it was stolen, odds are that same password is being used all over the place by you, and your login is almost always your email address. So they realize if a criminal gets just one password of yours with your email address, then they put it into a program, and that program will just try every major site on the planet for them automatically. They don't have to do it. They can be playing video games, and the code does all the work, and then they just come back and look at their screen later and go, oh, now I have 15 accounts that are all your accounts because of that. If people literally just used a unique password, an actual different password at every single site they go to, their risk would drop exponentially. Because then if one company has a breach, that's one password, but that's it. You're just only affected by that one. It's the fact that people keep using the same passwords everywhere that becomes the downfall and why criminals have so much more success.
Look, I'm partially guilty, right? You get lazy, you're like, oh, I'm going to forget it. But now it's pretty easy because the computer remembers it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there's pros and cons. There's a lot of malware out there that can actually pull the passwords off of your browser. So you stored all your passwords in your web browser. And then if you end up with malware, the malware goes in and steals all those passwords, gives them to a criminal. So you can use third-party apps. There's a lot of stuff you can put on your phone. I like the apps that aren't cloud-based. So there's somewhere it stores all your passwords in the cloud, and there's somewhere it stores them only on your phone. I like phone because there's been several breaches of the companies that store the passwords. So literally you put them all into this cloud-based solution thinking you're being really secure, and then that company's breached and all your passwords are stolen there. So if you put them in an app on your phone and they're only on your phone locally, to me, that's the best solution.
And that's safe. That's safe to do.
Nobody else can get them.
That's safe.
Yeah.
All right, great. All right, let's go back to that. Have I been pwned? Tell me about this website, Jim, because I want you guys to go on this right now. Let's be clear. This is 100%. It's legitimate. It's a safe website. You can go on it. And it's a weird word. What does this pwned mean? It's like owned.
Pwned means hacked. It's just a slang term for it. But basically, this site's been around a long time now. And in the beginning, it kind of started out as kind of a joke. Like it was just a few sites that had been hacked and that type of thing. They were posting information about the data.
I'm doing it, by the way. Yeah. Keep going.
Okay. And now it's become very legitimized, and it shows everything that's out there. So when breaches take place, and the data gets pushed out on the dark web or wherever it is, you can put in your email address and it will tell you if you show up anywhere, your email address. And then as Jeff is probably showing right now, it's amazing. You just start scrolling through, you will see website or company after company where your data was stolen. And the best part about this for you is when you look at these sites, you got to figure out, okay, what password did I use? And then I use that password there that I've used anywhere else, because if you did, you're in trouble, and you should be changing those passwords everywhere else. So what do you have coming up, Jeff?
I just did it. So I went to the Have I Been Pwned, and I hope you guys are doing this at home too. Let us know in the chat what you guys are seeing, okay? Have I been pwned? I did it. I typed in my email address. Now, I have 3 data breaches, okay?
Which actually is not that bad.
Yeah, man, I'm killing the game. April 2021, LinkedIn.
That was a big one. That one was huge. A lot of data stolen in that one. That one had passwords.
October 2019, data enrichment exposure from PDL customer.
Don't know what that is.
And then it goes back, May of 2012, another LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah, the LinkedIn's have been the big ones. So that's actually, you got off pretty light. I'll bet the people who are watching this are probably going to come up with way worse. On average, you'll have between 5 and 10.
And so what happens? They get my information and it goes on the dark web, which I still don't fully understand, but it's basically on a marketplace where criminals can just sell information in batches, right? Is that the deal?
I mean, there's a lot more. Dark web's amazing. Everybody should have a dark web browser and check it out. It's legal. The site itself, dark web was designed by the government. And it just allows you to be anonymous. The problem is criminals realize, so you're telling me I can go onto a site where no one can figure out who I am. I can put up a web page, sell stuff, and other people can come here, won't know who they are, and they can buy the stuff. I mean, it's the greatest system ever for criminals. So the criminals have really, taken it over, co-opted it. But yeah, you can post whatever you want, and your risks of ever getting caught are really low. So now there's Amazon sites. Literally, like you go to a website, and on that site, you'll see all these merchants, and when I probably use quotes, and they're all selling everything you can imagine, from guns to drugs to all sorts of stolen information. If you want credit cards, they've got credit card numbers. If you want to have bank accounts, they have full bank account logins, everything you need. Like you pick your poison, and then you use Bitcoin or one of the other digital coins. pay, and you get your stuff. And there's ratings on these sites. So criminals will literally have like reviews of the stuff they've been selling. It's like legitimized crime.
Kathy here has 12, which is pretty crazy. But we have some questions from our viewers too. Cindy's asking, what's the name of some password storage apps that you would recommend?
That's a loaded question. I mean, the big one, and I don't know that LastPass is the monster. The problem is they are cloud-based and they've been stolen before. If you look, most antivirus solutions out there now have a storage of some sort, whether that be Norton or McAfee or any of the big ones have something. So odds are you already have one and just don't know it. So just check whatever antivirus solution you're using. Obviously I'm a Norton guy, so I go Norton. But
that's good. Andrea is asking, do we need to change passwords like on our utility bills?
Yeah, I mean, again, yes, any place that you have a password. Now, what damage could they do if they gained access to your utility bill? Probably not. I mean, maybe turn off your account if they wanted to be malicious. So your risk is maybe less there. But if you use the same password at more than one place, change the password. Because let's say that your utility bill, that one you don't care about, but you use the password there and then you use that same password for your bank account and the utility company gets hacked. Well, now your password's been compromised there, which means your bank account password's also been compromised.
Yeah.
Have a unique password everywhere.
All right.
It's annoying. It's important.
Let me ask you a question. Do you ever get hacked before I let you go?
And knock on wood, I've had a pretty good run so far. To me, you never want to poke the bear. I truly believe if a criminal targets a person, like if I targeted you, Jeff Rawson, and I said, you're the person I'm going to target, inevitably I would get through. Like it's luck of the draw. Most of the time they're not targeting any one person. It's just kind of a shotgun approach. And so it's just whoever happens to fall on the net. But if a criminal wants to target you, you'll fall eventually. Everybody has a bad day.
Jim, you have hacked all the institutions that we all use. And normally I wouldn't be thanking you for that, but you do it for protect us. So thank you so much.
You bet. You have a great day, man.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it. Jim Stickley. Known that guy. Literally, by the way, he is also like a mechanic on the side for fun. This guy's brain is crazy. All right, before we go, a couple of quick little things I want to talk about. The first one is HBO is cracking down on password sharing. So I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up about that. Netflix did this. Disney's done this. So if you're using passwords right now between family, they've been lightly telling you to change it, but now they want you to spend $7.99 like now to share a password. It's like a little bit of a discounted rate, but they still want you to pay. And they're going to start using, and I'm reading it here, account info, IP addresses, device IDs, and user activity to detect sharing. So if you think you're going to mess around, they're going to know, hey, the IP address, the device that you're using in this house is different than the device in that house over there. Those are different homes. You can't use the same password. So there could be some punishment for that, or at least they want you to at least admit to it and get a discounted price for the second thing. So I wanted to tell you about that. And the final thing I wanted to talk about before we go, and by the way, keep your comments coming. I'm happy to answer your questions, is this. There's a big internet rumor going on right now that the IRS is going to be sending out stimulus checks again for $1,390. I just wanted to come on because it is everywhere on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. It is not true. It is absolutely false. There has been no new stimulus that has been approved by Congress. Some people are maybe getting confused because earlier this year, the government gave out $2.4 billion in leftover COVID money from 2021. People who were owed the money from back then and didn't get it. So they've kind of finally pushed out that last tranche of money. And I think the cutoff for that was April 15th. So that's done. There is no new stimulus. There is some talk in Washington of using tariff revenues to send checks to people. That is just a proposal. That hasn't been voted up or down either. So the answer is no. You're not getting a surprise stimulus check from the IRS. If you see the videos on social media, it's BS. Man, that was a great show, guys. Thank you so much for all the comments. Keep them coming. I watch them all day. Hold on. Cheryl, 0 data breaches? Cheryl. All right, very impressive. All right, keep the comments coming. I'm always here to answer them. I'm active all day, so I'll be on watching this. Thank you so much for all of your time. We're back tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock Eastern, and we'll see you then. Have a good one, guys.